Hi everyone, just a quick update before we begin today's video. If you're wondering where I've been spending time most recently working on my career as I'm looking to make some moves this year, hopefully. Also, Mary and I have been gym maxing, so I just wanted to share a quick update because today is January 31st, so we're actually officially 1 day in, so I've got a little before and after to show here. And highlights include, it's just last week I leg pressed 450 pounds for 10 reps, and it wasn't that hard, so definitely gaining some strength back. But I'll be sharing my updates, my before and afters, on Discord over the months too. So anyway, yeah, on with today's video. Cheers, everyone. Damn, that's fabulous. Hello, buddy boyos. It's Jay Tahoe here, and today I kind of want to talk about inhibition and, being high versus low inhibition, and being prepared to own the consequences. So the funny thing, right, is that when I was younger in life, I was a lot higher inhibition, and I guess sort of afraid to take risks. Versus, I'd say probably in the past 2 or 3 years, my inhibitions have dropped, right? Like, for example, later today, I'll actually be negotiating rent with my landlord because he's trying to increase my rent. And I don't think he's very justified in doing that. But that's, for personal reasons between me and him. And, there's a possibility on the table that he may say, well, this is what I want, and, if you don't agree to it, get out. And, I'm prepared that the negotiation may go that way, right? Now I'm thinking I'm going to call, my girlfriend and I, we're going to call his bluff because we want to move in together and we want a certain price, and we know what the place is worth. And, I've also been doing some lawn mowing and yard work tasks for him over the years, and a couple other things that I could easily stop doing. So I have a couple of, bargaining chips there. But it's a negotiation, and at the end of the day, he is the landlord and he owns the property. So, it's possible that, we don't reach an agreement and I have to leave. And in which, at that point, I'll use the fullest extent of the law to my favor to, stay as long as I can until I find something else. It's not a big deal because I have money in the bank and, can move into another place too. But obviously moving's a pain in the ass and nobody wants to do that. But I'm ready to own the consequences of the negotiation, where I can't help but think, years ago, when I was younger, I would have probably just been like, oh, okay, I'll pay more rent, whatever you want to do. Whereas, that preventing my ability to save money and buy a house in the next couple of years, which is something I'm planning to do. So, that's slower inhibition right there, right? A couple of years ago, I would have probably just gone along with it and, not wanted to rock the boat. Another example, I guess I had a friend who, when he was younger, his parents wanted him to do a certain career, and he had an idea of the kind of career he wanted. And him and his mom had a dispute about his career and, what he was going to be studying in school. And he didn't agree with it, so his mother kicked him out, and, he was, sleeping on my floor for a few days, and until they patched things up. I've spent the night in a car before. So I guess it means, like, when you take a few more risks, sometimes things don't go your way, right? But you have to be ready for that to happen and, face the music when it does happen. It's the same thing as, like, you get, let's say you're out at a bar and, you get into a fight, right? Maybe you win the fight, maybe you don't. But you can't just, let's say that the person has, outwardly disrespected you, right? Or they've called you out and challenged you. You can't really, in that situation, it's better to lose, I think, than to fold, because you always, you have a chance, right? Let's say you're outmatched and, the person's a much better athlete than you. What, you know, there's always the chance that they slip and fall on a banana peel or some ridiculous scenario like that, or they just miss and, you know, you get lucky, whatever the case may be. But, you know, I'll take the ass beating before, you know, you just let them, you know, walk all over you, right? Whereas, like, you know, in years past, I might not have done that. You know, a lot of people wouldn't have done that. So if what I've noticed is that, you know, a lot of people who are black-pilled, a lot of the situation, right? There are some people who, you know, due to their looks, due to their height, are in the situation that they're in. Like, you know, they've tried everything, and it is what it is. You know, at that point, I can respect that. But there are a lot of people who are in the situation that they're in because of high inhibition. You know, just fear of the consequences of taking risks and trying to get an accident. Let's just take women out of the equation, right? Let's just talk about career success. You know, if you want to move up in your career, climb the corporate ladder, sometimes you got to take risks. Sometimes you have to have difficult conversations with people, your coworkers, your bosses. Sometimes you have to actually tell people you're not happy and you may leave, you know, if you're not being duly compensated for what you do. But I mean, of course, for you to have that leverage, you need to be, you know, of value to the company. You need to, you know, let's say, you know, you're in the top of your metrics every month. You have a little leverage to try to negotiate for a raise or try to go for a promotion. And, you know, sometimes you're not going to get it. And, you know, I'm not saying you should be a sore loser and just leave because you didn't get a promotion one time. Like, you know, you can try again. But there do come points, right, where you need to also put your foot down and ask for things that are acceptable to you. So, you know, it's a free market. It's a free country. You can go to another place of employment. The same way, you know, if my landlord doesn't agree to what we're looking for, we can find another place to live. But you know, I'm going to, of course, try to, you know, argue my case. I've got talking points that I typed up. I've got competitively priced apartments in the area that we're going to show them. But I think the important thing is, you know, being ready to own what will happen if it doesn't go my way. You know, so my friend, when he got kicked out of his house, you know, he was ready to own that. He, you know, he might have been in the street. You know, if had I not been able to have him stay at my place for a few days, he would have had to go in his car. You know, you know, he didn't have access to any of his stuff because his mom threw him out of the house, and you know, he was ready to own that. So, you know, but the ironic thing, the funny thing is that his relationship with his family is actually better to this day. And I think, you know, it came down to him putting his foot down and having self-respect to him, saying, hey, you know, I will be homeless. I'll go sleep in somebody's basement before I cave and let you tell me how I'm going to live my life. And I think, you know, in the end, they ended up respecting him a little more for that. So when it comes to inhibition, you got to be honest with yourself. Like, could I be in a better position in life if I took more risk? And, you know, am I ready to own it if it doesn't go my way? Am I ready, you know, to spend the night in a car? Am I letting my parents dictate my life because they have a roof over my head that they can use to control, you know, my actions? You know, am I staying in a job that doesn't treat me with respect because, you know, it's a stable paycheck and I don't want to rock the boat? You know, am I staying in a living situation with somebody, you know, who does a behavior that's unacceptable and I'm just putting up with it because, you know, because of uncertainty and I don't know where I'm going to live next, right? You know, I mean, obviously you don't want to do something reckless. You want to have a plan B, you know. I mean, I've been calling, you know, I have an appointment to go see another apartment in case mine doesn't work out today. But you want to have a plan B, of course. I'm not saying you should just you should always, you know, weigh the risk, but I'm saying you should be ready to own what will happen if the negotiation doesn't go your way, because the best negotiation, in the words of Corey Wayne, the best negotiation position is being able to walk away and mean it. Meaning that, you know, yeah, like my landlord, I want to work with him. I want it to, you know, I want us to both get, you know, what we're after. You know, I mean, we may agree to a price somewhere in the middle if, you know, if he'll do that, if I'll do that. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm ready to walk away. I'm ready to go through the, you know, the nuisance of moving. I'm ready to go through the nuisance of, you know, dealing with new landlords, whatever the case may be. You know, just to make a point, just for the point of it. And, you know, he can find a new tenant. He might not. Who knows? Who knows if the new tenant will pay their rent or they'll screw him. I mean, the law with COVID right now is kind of on the side of the tenant. So, you know, that's a risk for him, and that's a point that I'll bring up when we're having the negotiation too. But anyway, that's the point of today's video is really, you know, if you're ready to, if you think worst case scenario, what can happen if I take a risk, and you're ready to own the consequences, and you're ready to own them without complaining or anything like that, I think that will do you some good and will help you, you know, advance your position in life. It certainly has for me. Anyway, all right, well, that's today's video, so take care, everybody, and yeah, bye.